What makes Bloomington a dynamic learning environment, it certainly starts with its schools. It starts with its students and its staff.
I like going to school here.
Academics here are really strong.
The teachers here are phenomenal.
Yeah, I've been going to Bloomington schools since elementary. All the teachers have been great.
Bloomington loves its schools. It's one of the draws for people to move here or to raise their family here is because they know we have a very strong school system.
Bloomington Public Schools has earned state and national accolades for its innovative educational programs, early childhood and gifted and talented programs, rigorous high school advanced placement and post-secondary educational options, and student achievement gains that have narrowed the achievement gap have all contributed to our success and recognition. With a storied history of exceptional schools, a community with a deep commitment to education, and an unwavering belief in all children, we are Bloomington Public Schools.
Our mission statement is to be education leaders, preparing all our learners to thrive in a rapidly changing world. To do this, we need to provide an excellent education system for our children. It needs to be dynamic, it needs to be robust, it needs to be comprehensive, and it needs to be innovative and creative.
Student achievement thrives in a stable financial environment, and Bloomington Public Schools is one of the most financially stable school systems in the state. At a time when other districts were making significant budget reductions and laying off staff, we were managing our resources to ensure a stable financial environment. By employing conservative, innovative, and creative business practices, we could focus on doing what's best for students. Financial stability allowed the district to grow its fund balance, a common business practice that provides a bridge for any unforeseen circumstances that impact our budget. The school board and administration was purposeful in building this fund balance in order to sustain our investments in staff and programs to enhance and improve student learning. Unfortunately, the landscape is changing.
In spite of all this sound financial management and prudent stewardship of our district's assets, there are forces and factors that we cannot and don't control.
So what are the factors contributing to a structural deficit and eroding fund balance? A simple answer to a complex question: student enrollment, state funding, and increased district spending. Student enrollment is a primary factor in determining how much revenue Bloomington receives from the state of Minnesota to fund its operations. As the district's student enrollment continues a downward trend, fewer students mean less state funding. The decline is in line with demographic changes we see in our community, with more empty nesters and retirees keeping their homes. Another contributing factor is state funding. For the past 7 years, the average increase to the district's general education allowance has been approximately 1% annually. This is insufficient to cover the district's inflationary costs of doing business. The third contributing factor is an increase in district spending. Since 90% of the district's general fund is spent on salaries and benefits, a majority of the increase in spending targeted staff.
Our spending is driven by the expectations of our customers, the residents of our community. They expect us to hire the brightest and best teachers and staff so they can inspire and grow their children to be the brightest and best they can be.
Bloomington has a long history of attracting the best and the brightest, and that's reflected in our staff. And I think when you walk into the schoolrooms, you'll see that. You'll see how the teachers handle their classes, how they interact with their students, how they get along as a member of a team.
We are now challenged to find ways to right-size the budget, bringing district spending more in line with revenues while maintaining a quality educational system. And, as Superintendent Les Fujitaki explains, understanding the challenge facing the district is the first step.
A school district is like a shallow dish, a bowl, a shallow bowl. You put a little in, it fills up. In fact, it overflows, and people have the perception that we're overflowing with resources when we put a little in. But when you take a little out, you can see the bottom of the dish and everything's gone.
As the contents of the shallow dish recede, we are taking steps to meet this challenge. We've begun a process of right-sizing the budget to bring district spending more in line with revenues.
Right-sizing a budget is essentially a change in the way we do business. We need to adjust our spending, but we need time to do it planfully and purposefully, and therefore we're using our reserves to provide us that time. Over the years, we've been required to make some very challenging decisions, but what has guided all our decisions is putting students first, keeping in mind what's best for students. And that's what we're going to be doing throughout this process. I can assure everyone that we will keep the integrity of our quality school system intact.